AK 802 radio check.
802 WQYP 827, got you loud and clear.
Sir, appreciate it. 802, back on the side, 550 Alpha.
Well, everybody, it is now 7 p.m. straight up. Good evening and welcome to the GMRS 1900 Net on this 19th day of March 2024. This is Mike, WQYP 827, and I will be your net control for the evening. The GMRS 1900 Net is a directed net where we discuss matters relating to GMRS and various other topics, and while a directed net is in operation, we just ask that all radio traffic must go through net control. We also like to remind all users to take a pause and leave some time between transmissions. This will make for a much better user experience when using our repeaters and Zello connections. Tonight we are using our online pre-registration roster for the net. If you have pre-registered consecutive nets, you will receive an email from me asking that you re-register. I'll now go ahead and take check-ins from our non-registered participants. Please check in one at a time with your first name and call sign, and please speak slowly so that I have time to write down the information. Also remember, let me acknowledge one person at a time before the next one tries to check in. You may start check-in now.
Whiskey Sierra Alpha Kilo 802, Matt, Phoenix.
All right, Matt, thank you very much for that. I got you checked in. Next person. Well, that was just a bunch of static. Move positions if you're on a handheld and try it one more time.
WRXS 344, Tom.
Okay, I got WR something. I thought it was 304, and the name I got was Tom. Is that correct?
WRXS 344. The name is Tom.
Don't know what you did, but that was absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for that, Tom. Got you checked in. Stand by. Next person.
Yeah, this is WQWC 418. I'd just like to check in and check out because I'll be listening but not participating tonight. But just wanted to say hi back to Net Control.
All right, Frank, thanks much for that. I got you in and out. Thanks for calling in. Anybody else? Nope, 579. You're right on time. What was the first name? Harold it is. All right, I've got you checked in. Just stand by. Anybody else?
WRWC 982, all in Cave Creek.
All right, I got a WRWZ something in Cave Creek. Try it one more time.
WRWC 982, all 8 in Cave Creek.
All right, Ollie, I got you. I got you checked in. Anybody else?
WREY 912, this is Eric coming from Mesa tonight.
All right, thank you, Eric. I got you checked in. Anybody else? All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started for the evening. I'd normally turn you over to WQUZ 645 for announcements, but he's not available this evening. So the one announcement that I do have is I want to remind everybody that we have a booth out at the Arizona Game and Fish Outdoor Expo this coming Saturday and Sunday. So if you're out there, stop by and say hi. So we'll go ahead and get started. And the topic tonight, and we always say this, to learn GMRS, you really need to integrate it into your daily life somehow so that you'll know how to use your equipment when the need arises. So the question is for tonight, how often did you use your GMRS radio in the past 7 days? And we're going to start at the top of my list. Keith out in Scottsdale, WRKJ 520. All right, let's try Bubba out in Tolleson, WRPY 760.
This is WRPY 760 Bubba. Hey, Mike, thanks for running the net and all that. You're doing a great job over there. And, hey, I'm on my radio almost all day long, really. I've got it in my vehicle. I've got it in my home. And now that I'm retired, I can do that. I know a lot of people aren't capable, but, hey, I've got some friends of mine, when they get off work, they call me, and it's amazing. And they just say, hello, how are you today? One guy called me today, clear out there from Gilbert. And I'm glad him and his little wife are working out great. But, hey, thank you, Michael. And this is WRPY 760, back to net control.
Every single day. Bubba, thank you much for that. Have a good evening. Let's go out and see if Dave's out there tonight. WRJS 273. All right, how about Bill over in Sun City West? Bill, you out there tonight? WRVS 698. Was there a break out there? Go ahead.
Yes, sir, my apologies. WRZJ275. I didn't check in time. And I am on my radios daily, and I'm trying to get my camera shy wife to use her radios daily. She's getting better at it.
Yeah, she most definitely is. I hear you guys on there quite often. That's the way to do it. And 275, thanks for joining us tonight. You got in just fine.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure. JD from Glendale, WRZJ275.
275, thank you. Let's try Dave out there in Phoenix one more time. WRJS 513. And how about Dwayne over in Mesa? WRWN 506. Moving on to Dan over in Peoria, WRWZ 465. Victor out in Phoenix, WRXK 658. Gee, the topic must have scared some people. Don't be afraid. Ken over in Scottsdale, WRTD 584.
This is WRTD 584, Ken in Scottsdale. Usually have either the mobile radio going while I'm driving, or I got my handheld somewhere in the house. Usually don't talk much. I'm not a talkative person, really, but do radio function checks every now and then. WRTD 584, back to net.
All right, Ken, thanks much for joining us. But the big thing is you got it on, and you probably know how to use it as long as you got it on. But get in there and be brave. Jump in and start a conversation for some time. Good to hear you out there, Ken. Cameron out in Scottsdale, it is your turn, WSAL 551. And that is what these nets are about. Give you an opportunity in a nice environment to at least get on and say hi. Brian over in Cave Creek, WRXL 827.
Good evening, Mike. Brian in Cave Creek. I'm on a couple times a week on the regular nets, and then weekends usually run around town. I'll have it on and sometimes come.
They're probably only want to get on there pretty shortly themselves, so it's a great opportunity to try it out. Steve over in Phoenix, you out there tonight? WRCS 363. Not sure you'll be there or not.
Comment.
Comment, go ahead.
Mike, Steve is still out of town on vacation, 802.
Okay, I figured he was. Thank you much for that. Let's go out and see if Rich is out there. WRKJ 772. No Rich this evening. How about Kelly out in Desert Hills, WRUJ 238. Joe, are you out there listening? All right, how about Bob over in Surprise, WRPW 729. Let's try Abel in Avondale, WRUW 914.
WRUW 4, and the last 7 days I've carried my radio every day. Can't remember the one day I didn't have my radio on me or on. Thanks, Mike, for taking the net. Have a good evening. WRUW 914.
All right, Abel, thank you much for that, and you are absolutely correct. You are one of the ones that I hear quite a bit. Thank you much for being out there. Let's try Jeffrey out in Scottsdale, WSAH 532. And let's see, nope, no Frank's not there. John over in Goodyear, WRJI 326.
Good evening, Mike. This is John, WRGI 326. I typically will be listening in the morning, heading into work and coming home from work. My talking really is limited lately. It seems to just reporting any traffic incidents on my way to and from work.
Yeah, that's a good topic also. It's always good to have those eyes on the road reporting those accidents. Some of them we get from our users, and a lot of them we get from the official sites. So thank you much for that.
Very good. This is WRGI 326. John, back to net.
All right, John, thank you very much, and you have a great evening. Let's go out to Clark over there in Waddell, WRVK 811. You out there?
Mike, yep, I sure am, and I usually have my radio on in the truck, and I have it on in the house when I'm in my office like you, and I really love Gary's traffic reports when I'm driving around, so yeah, I'm on it pretty much every day. I may not talk a lot on it, but I'm always listening. WRVK 811, back to the net.
All right, Clark, thank you very much, and again, appreciate your help this past Wednesday, so hopefully you'll see you in the morning. Bill up there in Flagstaff, you out there tonight? WROD 347. All right, Ollie, I know you're still out there in Cave Creek, WRWZ 982.
WRWZ 982, Ollie here in Cave Creek. I'm on the radio, but not really talking about some radio checks every now and again from my home here, from my handheld, and when I'm out on the road, I'll turn my radio on. Just bought it.
Well, Gary's always good to hear that. He loves to hear the fact that at least some people are listening to him out there. And Ollie, I have you on the check-in roster, and you only had one missed, and that goes away as of tonight by you checking in. So you are good to go.
Appreciate that. Looks like I'll have to keep you on my Christmas list. WRWZ 982.
Well, you keep checking in on Tuesday nights, and I'll put you on my list as well. Always good to hear you out there. This is WQYP 827 for ID. Let's try Brian over in Glendale, WRYB 646. You out there, WRYB 646. All right, while we're out in Glendale, let's see if Gary's home. WROE 348.
This is WROE 348. Mike, thanks for taking the net. I get on the radio maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but I need to start taking it with me in the car and do a lot better. So, yeah, work in progress. This is WROE 348. Back to you, Mike.
Yep, just a bunch of baby steps, running them together. Gary, appreciate you being out there. Let's go out here to Surprise. Let's see if Art's out there tonight. WROI 404. 29.
Evening, Mike. This is 529. I'm on the GMRS once or twice a week, but I'm also on my ham radio 2 or 3 times a week. So between the two, I'm on about every other day or so. WRNG 529.
I really find some comfort listening to Gary's morning radio, reports, and then I have it on all night long on the Echo, 550 Echo, in case there's any call-out. So I'm wearing out my batteries. WQZZ 533.
I usually just monitor 550 Alpha all the time, 24 hours a day. I don't do much of anything else. That's pretty much about it.
Well, you are Mr. Reliable, so if somebody needs something, you would be out there to listen.
Yeah, I can listen, but it just takes me a little while to get over to my wheelchair so I can get over to the radio or do something else about it.
Hey, I believe that was motorized, so maybe we need to put a mobile unit on it.
Oh, it is motorized, and I did have a mobile unit on it, but I forgot what I did with it.
Yeah, the antenna was probably too long, and somebody made you put it away.
This is WRMK 636, Tom over in Santan Valley, and I'll be clear.
All right, Tom, always good to hear you out there, and that unit is sounding wonderful. All right, let's see if Thomas is out there in Mesa, WRWP 347.
Good evening, Mike and Ned. So at nighttime, I leave the emergency frequency on with the volume turned up in case there's somebody else who should call out. The last few days, I've given weather reports from East Mesa when the storms were rolling off the hills. And sometimes during the daytime, I do a radio check just to get Gary to say hi. That's pretty much it. WRWP 347.
And we appreciate you being out there. Thomas, thank you for being out there tonight. All right, I'm going to jump over to my call-in list.
When the training wheels want to fall off that one. Other than that, I use it every day. WSAK 802.
Yep, and that one is sounding wonderful. Absolutely full quieting. Matt, thanks for being out there. Let's see if Tom's out there. WRXS 344.
Yeah, Mike, first of all, thanks for taking the net. This is a good thing that you guys do. Yeah, I will, if I'm not actually working, I've either got an HT or the mobile run.
Tom, you kind of dropped off on us. 344. Did you unkey yet? All right, I think we lost Tom. Harold, WSBU, still trying to get used to these WS call signs. WSBU 579.
This is 579. I'm actually out in Morristown, and this is my first net ever. I've only had my license for about a week. I am going to be getting my ham license hopefully here shortly. So needless to say, I've been on the radios every day. I just programmed Tower 600 in, and Bubba actually confirmed my signal report. Mainly I got this because it was a nice little step to get into ham, and it covers the whole family. I've heard of some kids' nets, and I have a 14-year-old boy. I'd like to try and get into it. But yeah, it's been pretty much every day the last week, and still got a bit to learn, but I'm liking it so far. WSBU 579, back to net.
All right, Harold. Well, thank you for being out there tonight, and yeah, hopefully you'll get those kids on. Eric out in Mesa is still out there, WREY 912, I believe.
912, I'm still out here. I am really busy at home with my kids and with work, and so I'm not on the radio very often. But I did just, actually it wasn't just, it was probably about a year ago. I got a second radio. So I had a BTEC GMRS V1. Now this is a Woshan KG905 with a better whip antenna on it. So I'm hoping to get some more use out of it. But no, the practice is needed. I have to look up the manual every time I want to try and do something with it because I'm not in it enough.
Yeah, that's what we said. You got to use it and learn how to, because you don't want to have to be doing that when you really need to get on the air. All right, Eric, thank you much for being out there, and we'll let you throw that call sign out one more time if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, that's all I got. WREY 912.
Yep, and that 905. Good choice. It's sounding really good out there. All right, how about Bob over in Waddell, WRCM 701.
WRCM 701. I'm pretty much like you, Mike. I listen a lot. I've got the bass on, and when I'm at home in the car, it's always on. So, and that's about it. WRCM 701.
All right, looking forward to spending some time with you on Saturday and Sunday. Oh, actually, it's going to be Sunday, so we'll see you then. And moving on to Lou out in Litchfield Park, WRKT 709.
Good evening, Mike and Annette. This is Lou, and I have my radio bench out in my shop, so if I'm out here, I've always got radios on and listening, or if I'm in a vehicle, I either have a handheld with me, or if I'm in my Jeep, I have a mobile mounted and it's on. So I monitor a lot, don't respond or talk too much on the GMRS band, but ham is getting me quite talkative, chasing the POTA sites. So back to net control, WRKT 709.
Yeah, there you go. It's just warming you up. It's going to make you chatty. Lou, appreciate it. Thanks, and we'll see you this weekend. Mark over in Phoenix, WRFP 808.
This is 808 Mark. Good evening, everybody. Mike, thanks for taking the net. And every time I jump in my truck, pretty much I fire up the mobile. So I'd say probably 4 or 5 times a week I'm on. Generally just monitoring.
How you doing, Mike? Hi, everybody. I'm on almost every day. I listen to it. particularly in my truck. If I'm going to be in a truck for about 15 minutes or more, I'll throw out my call sign and monitoring and that sort of thing. If it's less than that, I'll just listen. And then in the office here, I'll turn it on maybe once or twice during the day and listen to it. So I'm usually on just about every day, though, just listening. WQCA 890, back to the net.
All right, Bill. Thank you much for being out there, as always. Let's go and see if Tim's out there. Last I knew he was in the mobile. WQRV 903.
Hello, Mike, and everybody on the net. Mike, thanks for taking the net tonight. It's always good to hear you out there. And you know me, I'm on here just about every day, but not real talkative lately because we've been trying to get ready for exhibiting at that thing coming up this weekend. So, but yeah, in the last 7 days, I've been on just about every day. And nothing more than just saying monitoring, throwing out my call sign, and see if anybody comes back. So, all right, that's it for me. Thanks for taking the net. This is WQRV 903, back to net control.
All right, Tim, thank you much for being out there. And, yep, looking forward to this weekend. I think it's going to be fun. All right, Dean or Derek, WRME 966. Either one of you out there tonight? All right, let's try Kenny over in Sun City West, WQJT 335. All right, that brings me to the end of my list. We got through that pretty quickly, but sometimes that's nice. Let's go to see if there's any late or missed check-ins. Again, let me acknowledge each one individually.
WRZ X-ray 336, Paul from Sun City.
Thank you, Paul. I've got you checked in. Stand by. Anybody else?
Mike, can I give out a QST, please?
A quick signal test.
No, an announcement, sir, about a swap meet.
Oh, an announcement. Yeah, you go right ahead and do that.
Hey, I just want to let everybody know they're having an electronic swap meet at DeBry at March 30th. I believe that's a Saturday. 21st and Dunlap, 7 a.m. to Mike. And this is WRPY 760. Back to net control.
All right, Bubba, thank you much for that. And that might be something I'd be interested in, so thank you much for that information. All right, any other late or missed check-ins? One at a time, please.
WRJQ 435, Alan, Phoenix.
All right, Alan, thank you. I got you checked in. Stand by. Anybody else? Yep, move one way or the other. That was total static.
Hey, net controller, that's my buddy in Black Canyon. Last digits are 215. He just got his club membership today. This is WSBU 579. He's trying to fine tune his radio because he can hit the ham repeater on the White Tank Mountain really good.
Is he actually transmitting from Black Canyon City?
Yes, sir, he sure is. He can hit the Tower 600 pretty good. He can get Shaw Butte 725 decently. It's just this one, he is having real issues with trying to get it fine-tuned. In all kinds of places. With the same radios he's trying to reach this repeater on.
Well, the only thing I can suggest is maybe more antenna. Maybe even if you had a base, I would definitely suggest something like a Yagi. That helps a lot on some of these repeaters that are a little bit difficult to get into.
He has about an 80-foot antenna on his house.
Wow. Okay. Well, he's getting part way there, just not quite making it.
And I can say right now that I'm on, this is the last thing I'm going to say, talk to your buddies. Get them into it. He got me into this, and if it wasn't for him helping me out, talking me into it, he's giving me radios and antennas. Otherwise, I would not be where I'm at right now. I mean, getting somebody into a hobby like this, your friends could really help. And I'm hoping to be there one day soon, and I can help a friend out. WSBU 579, back to Net.
Yep, paying it back. I got started in it years ago, and somebody giving me the equipment. So 579, good to hear you out there, and whatever you're talking on, it sounds great. Is there any other late or missed check-ins? Come on in now.
942. Doug and Chandler.
All right, Doug and Chandler, stand by. 942, go ahead.
Sorry I'm late. Just caught the end of that last message. I'm working on cooking dinner and some other stuff. I have been up to Black Canyon with my handheld, and I can hit the 550 fine in many areas. Some areas I can't hit it at all. So there's some areas that are in the shadow or something of the antenna. WQWI 942.
Okay, was I correct? Was is the ham repeater that's up there, is it on a different peak than 550?
Most likely there's the east peak and the west peak. Many of the ham repeaters are...
I got just a W, and it dropped completely off after that. All right, Paul, let's get you on here, WRZX 336. How often do you use your radio in the past 7 days?
336, I've been kind of quiet the last 7 days. I'm planning on getting back on it the next day. So.
Awesome. Well, you made Tuesday nights, and that's a start in the right direction. Paul, if you don't have anything else for it, we'll let you throw that call sign out.
X-ray 336 clear.
Paul, have a good evening. Alan, you still out there? WRJQ 435. All right, and Doug, I called you earlier, but you can go ahead now.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Hey, yeah, I used my radio over the weekend. I was down in the Ironwood Forest National Monument, just doing some overlanding with some buddies, so mainly using it for that. And then here in the next month or so, I'm going to be moving out of the shadow of South Mountain, so I might be on a little more frequently during the week. WROZ 993, back to you, Mike.
Awesome. Well, we hope to hear you on here more often. All right, before we close her up, is there any late or missed check-ins? Come on in now. Let me acknowledge them one at a time.
WRUC 284, Lou and Surprise.
Hey, Lou. Go ahead.
Good to talk to you guys. Listen a lot, work in East Phoenix, so I've usually got my radio on, just kind of listening, kind of getting the news of what's going on in the world.
Well, Tuesday Night Nets is an absolute perfect time to get a little talk time in and get used to it.
Much appreciated. WRUC 284.
Awesome. Thank you much for that. WQYP 827 for ID, and good to hear you on the air. Anybody else? All right, then. Well, thank you, everybody, for the check-in. Just a reminder, great week, what's left of it, and we'll be talking to you. WQYP 827.
Hey, Mike, I thank you around the net again, and hey, I hope to see you out there at that Ham Fest at the Rye, March 30th. It's the biggest one of the year, so we're here in the Valley anyway. So I hope to see you out there. WRPY 760.
All right, Bubba, thank you for everything you do, and I'm putting it on my calendar right now. We'll be talking to you. WQYP 827.
802, 827.
802, good.
Mike, I just wanted to say thanks for hosting the net, and thanks for the help with the radios. I ended up picking up a Radioddity DB25G and have had zero problems other than chirp wanting to flip around tones. Outside of that, with your guys' help, I was able to get on the right track, and I do appreciate it.
You know, and that's one of the big things we promote. Get on the air, because there are lots of folks out here that have probably experienced the same thing you are. And what I have found, you can get on the air, and there's always going to be somebody that's willing to help. Good to hear you out there, and glad you're sounding so good out there. WQYP 827.
That's AK 802 back on the side, monitoring 550 Alpha.
WSBU 579. I got a tech question for somebody that might be able to help.
Well, 579, throw it out there and let's see what we got.
Well, my buddy that's in Black Canyon on 215, he's using the same setups that he can hit the Del Webb ham repeater on, and that's way lower. So I don't know, is GMRS, and he can actually hit that on a 5-watt handheld. So I don't know if that's, if GMRS is a weaker, I don't know, I'm still learning.
Okay, well, you did you copy that 942? Has been up in Black Canyon quite often, and he has no problem hitting the 550 repeater. He did indicate, though, there are some places in town that it is a little more difficult than others to get into it.
Yes, I did, and he might just be without one spot, one of those spots. It's just weird how he can hit the Del Webb repeater on the hospital, and with the same setup he's trying to hit this repeater on, and it doesn't work. That's just, I don't know. And he's a master electrician, so it's really mind-boggling him. And I'm just an equipment operator.
Comment?
Bubba, go ahead with comment.
Hey, it could be a tone problem, too. You know what I mean? A lot of these new guys that come in, they have a big problem with those tones, and you never know. It could be a tone problem. WRPY 760. I'll be on the side.
Comment.
Thank you, Bubba. Second comment, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I'm clear up here off of the 303, coming up on the 17 now, and I should be able to hear him. He's hitting the repeater for me, but it's just dead noise whenever he's on there, and then you come back after him. So he may just have a tone problem like I did. 802, back on the side.
It was weird. I got my my license in the morning. I got the email. And then when I got home, I applied for this membership, and I had it like a half an hour before I went to bed. And I was pretty excited about that. But like I said, I was learning, and I didn't have everything programmed to make for the net last week. And he applied for his membership Saturday. He just got it today. So, and he has the list on the website and everything. And he's been messing with the tones. So I don't know.
Okay, stand by just one. 802, you still out there?
Yeah, buddy, I'm here.
Okay, this is probably one of those situations that we spoke about. Remember, I told you to create 2 incidences of the 550 and leave the tone off of one of them for Tuesdays. Are you listening to one that has tone on or off?
On the current one, I believe I am on with tone on. With the new radio, the tone off did not transfer over, and I forgot to program it on the new radio.
Yep, that would be your issue because he is actually transmitting on the 141 travel tone.
That would be the problem. All right, I will get that fixed. Thank you for the reminder.
Yep, that's what we're out here for. And 579, as a member, you can use the 550 alpha tones. We're not going to discuss what they are, but you should have the list. And all members can just stay on 550 alpha tones. If you don't have a good monitor mode, I would just suggest that you leave off the receive tone, especially on Tuesdays when somebody's transmitting on 141.3.
He can hear you, all of us, clear as day, and he is using the tone that is on the list, and I'm not sure about that PL tone that he's using. I will have to check on my settings, but I am so, and he is listening. And see if he can't get it tuned in. I thank you guys for all your help. WSBU 579.
All right. What's his call sign? I'll give him a holler.
Give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't remember numbers, or I think it's Mike that was the net controller that was responding to 579.
Yep, WQYB 827.
Okay, my buddies is WRYY215.
All right, 579, good to hear you out there, and I'll give him a holler. WQYB 827.
WSAK 802 back on the side of monitoring. Sorry, I didn't get the ID, so ID now.
WSBU 57973 for the night. Thank you guys for your help, and I will talk with my 215 buddy. Good night.
Hey, Mike, 760.
Go ahead, Bo.
Hey, I'm going up there to Black Canyon City next week. Get a hold of that guy's name and everything.
WQIP827. You stood by the frequency, Mike? WRMR 257.
Good evening. This is Jeff, WQZZ533. I will be your net controller for the Arizona Services Group net tonight. This net is normally conducted after the Tuesday night 1900 net concludes. The Arizona Emergency Services Group, or AESG, is a part of the Arizona GMRS Repeater Club. The volunteers in our group are a team of licensed GMRS operators. Many are also ham radio operators. We receive training and also conduct exercises to expand our skills. Those who are dual licensed have an extra tool in their radio toolbox. The purpose of this net is to perform a regular test of communications equipment, provide training and emergency procedures, and exchange information related to preparedness. All nets, whether for training, exercises, events, or priority traffic. Is there any such traffic at this time? Hearing none, we will continue with the net. Any station that would like to fill in as alternate net control, please call now with your FCC call sign. Hearing no volunteers, will continue with the net. Those who have already checked in online do not have to check in again over the air. Any station that has not checked in online can check in now. Please check into the net with your first name and your call sign, 2 at a time.
This is WRVD 274, Cynthia.
This is WREY 912, Eric.
I copy Cynthia, WRVG 274, and Eric, WREY 912. Did I get those call signs correct?
That was correct, 912.
Copy that. Are there any other check-ins that are not on the prior check-in list? On the website so that we'll know if you are able to attend. I'm going to take a break. Okay, this is, again, WQZZ533 for identification. So when it comes to severe weather activations, you'll often hear usually Gary call out that there's an activation. You'll hear the alert tone, and it will be an alert condition 3, which it's described on the club website. It is essentially an alert tone, and then there will be notifications on the pushover app and a request for ESG members to call in and check in with the net control if the net is activated at that time. The types of weather that require or that are talked about in the Skywarn scheduled in the next couple of months. For those who are not Skywarn spotters, I highly recommend the training. It's very educational, and you end up with a really nifty Skywarn spotter ID that you can use to send reports into the National Weather Service. The sorts of, we're going to talk about the sorts of weather that would generate a Skywarn report or that would be elevated to the level of something you would report into the net. It's not the sort of thing where you just say it's raining over here. There's actually some specific criteria, and I'm going to go down the list. I heard him earlier, Tim, WQRV 903 in Phoenix. Are you listening? Nothing heard. How about Brian, WRXL 827 in Cave Creek? Are you listening tonight?
Yes, this is WRXL 827, Brian at Cave Creek. Go ahead.
Brian, the question is, do you know what the criteria are for reporting severe weather? And if so, can you give us one of those criteria?
Yes, I'll pick from the list heavy rainfall, which is measured as a half-inch or more accumulation in 30 minutes or less. WRXL 827.
Thank you, sir. That is one of them. Deal. Nothing heard from Brian. How about Don, WRZH 604? I don't think he's listening tonight, but how about Dean? Now we have WRVD 274 Cynthia. I heard you earlier. Do you know what another one of the reporting severe weather criteria are?
This is 274. I really like this one. Snow, accumulating or not. I don't think that we'd be getting that here in the valley too much, but maybe a haboob in place of snow. 274.
Well, no, I've been in this Phoenix Valley for longer than I've lived anywhere else, and I've heard about snow in Cave Creek. I've never actually seen it, so I agree it's a rare thing. But you did bring up another one, a haboob, which is can contribute to another one of the reporting criteria. I'm going to go to the next person on the list and see if he knows what it is. Thomas, WRWP 347.
Evening, sir. Actually, I am a spotter ID, Mike Alpha 21-010. Storm damage, deaths, injuries, broken tree limbs, shingles off roofs, etc. Damage. WRWP 347.
Very good. That is another one we haven't talked about yet. Thank you very much. Again, for ID, this is WQZZ533, Net Control. WRPW729, Bob, and Surprise. I don't think he's on here, but we'll give him a shout out. Nothing heard from Bob. How about WOJT 335, Kenny in Sun City West? Nothing heard from Kenny. WRWZ 731, Deneen in Sun City. How about WRKJ520 Keith in Scottsdale? Nothing heard from Keith. WREZ281 Brian in Phoenix. Are you out there? Nothing heard from Brian. I did hear from WREY912 Eric. Do you know what any of the other reporting severe weather criteria are that we haven't heard already?
WREY912. No, I don't know any of them. I'm on my handset, just out in a park, and trying to find stuff on my phone, but I guess I'm hearing all about it on the radio tonight. 912.
Well, thanks for joining us, Eric. And by the way, your signal is very strong and clear, so wherever you are is a good spot for you and your radio. That sounds good. So we've heard storm damage, heavy rainfall, measuring a half-inch or more accumulation. We've heard slaining is the difference between a tornado and a funnel cloud. The tornado touches the ground. The funnel cloud is not yet on the ground. So, and they have to be rotating. There's often things that might look like funnel clouds or tornadoes. They call them imposters that we should not report. So the Skywarn training is a really useful resource to learn the sorts of things that need to be reported. I'll take a break here. Another thing that we often have during the monsoons here, I've seen it myself many times, is flooding. So we're looking at flooding that fills the street up to the sidewalk, or something worse that makes travel difficult or impossible, or that makes washes treacherous and impassable. What I mentioned, what Cynthia brought up, and I alluded to earlier, was haboobs can often cause low visibility, and the measure here for reporting criteria is a mile or less of visibility, excuse me, due to dust, sand, fog, but not rain. So if it's a heavy downpour and you can't see your hand in front of your face, that's not a reporting criteria. Then the other, a rotating wall cloud, that goes along with the rotating funnels and tornadoes. And then finally, is hail. And what they want, you report any size hail, but they would like you to report the largest diameter stone that you find. It can be a useful tool to have with you, and it tells you what information you should collect, either to report to the National Weather Service via one of the approved methods, or if the ESG is activated to the net control for the net. And the main thing is, it's kind of like being in school. It's who you are, who, what, and where. It's not, we don't have to report why or how. So it's who, what, where. So who you are, preferably your storm spotter ID if you have one, or just your name if you don't. What you're witnessing, and it should be you're able to verifiably report it, and where it's happening. You're not expected to drive around and look for weather when stuff happens. You're encouraged to stay safe and stay home and report what you see from your home or from your vehicle if you go out. But the key with storm spotting and Skywarn is to be safe. Don't put yourself into danger and become part of the situation that needs to be fixed. 802, go ahead.
The question would be with the flash flooding. We're notorious for having rain miles and miles and miles away, you know, and then a flash flood comes through. If the news media outlet and nobody else is announcing that, and we come across a flash flood, is that something that we should bring up?
Yes, flooding is always something to report if it means that the National Weather Service will, they have pretty good information, but what the reports do is to ground truth what is really happening and where the results are. So yes, if you're a storm spotter, you can use the storm spotter methods. If the net is activated, you can report it on the net. Or if you're not if the net is not activated and you're not a storm spotter, there are other means of reporting it to the National Weather Service. It's useful to get that information out. And alternatively, you can also just put it out there on the GMRS, on the 550, so that anybody in the area knows what's going on. I use a lot of words, but I hope I answered your question.
100% answered. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, you know, it's the first time on this net, and I just wanted to have a good understanding, if you know what I mean. But anyways, I appreciate the answer, WS, aka 802, back on the side.
802, this one is going back to what I mentioned earlier, the ESG form 404. It's one of the criteria checkoff is roadway conditions. So that's always an important thing. I mean, no matter, as you've probably heard on the morning and evening traffic reports, it's always important that people can hear what the situation is, where they're headed, or where they have people headed. So that is always well, hearing none, and being that this was my first net, I'm glad that we're wrapping this up. I'd like to thank everyone who participated tonight. This is, again, WQZZ 533, Net Control. We are now returning the repeater to its normal operations. Have a good evening, everybody. WQZZ 533.
347 with a quick comment that may be going on. And for those who like to learn how to read radars, there's an advanced basic weather spotting class. So I will post it in the forum once these classes, which are webinars, that will be coming out. WRWP 347, thank you for letting me give a comment.
347, thanks very much. Yeah, I really enjoy those classes, and the fact that they're virtual is really helpful. Getting down to Maricopa would be a bit of a challenge for me. But thanks. Yeah, the National Weather Service Phoenix webpage, which you can search by Skywarn Spotter class, you can find it on there. They do have the pending calendar, but if you can post that as on the club's page, that would be extra helpful. Thank you very much. WQZZ 533.
5.
Unit with traffic, you were cut off.
795.
Hey, Attila, you have some traffic?
Oh, I just have a late check-in. WQWS 795, late check-in.
Well, I'm glad that you checked in. I haven't heard your voice in quite a while. We just covered these severe weather reporting criteria for weather spotters, and I know you're a weather spotter. You probably would have hit it out of the park on the first go-round, but glad you were able to check in tonight.
Thank you. I was late. I heard that, so just want to be on the roster. Thank you. WQWR 795.
Have a good evening. This is WQZZ 533, clear.